Welcome to episode 9 of Feeling Through Live. I'm really happy to be joined by Billy Pickens today. Billy is a recent college grad. He's also on track to be the next Ryan Seacrest. He's gunning to be a TV and radio personality, has already gotten a decent amount of experience in that space, and we're really excited to talk about that and a whole host of other things. Before we hop into the conversation, I just want to reiterate that um, June is Deafblind Awareness Month, and the last week in June is National Deafblind Awareness Week because Helen Keller's birthday falls on June 27th. So the last week in June is recognized as National Deafblind Awareness Week. One of the ways that we'll be celebrating at the Feeling Through Experience is we are going to do a free live stream of the Feeling Through Experience. So we want as many people to join in as possible. The way you do that is make sure you go to feelingthrough.com to register to get your free e-ticket. We'll have a lot more info about that on our social media, but please join us, share it with as many people as possible. We want to have as many people there. So with that said, Billy, hello.
How's it going, Doug?
It's going pretty well. How are you doing today?
I can't complain. Beautiful day, sun is shining.
Excellent. Well, just to kick things off on the theme of Helen Keller and it being Deafblind Awareness Week, I noticed that on the homepage of your website, you have one of my favorite Helen Keller quotes, which is, "Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much." I'm wondering how you feel about that quote specifically in the current climate and state of the world.
Well, I think that quote is very important and it's been very key to me because I believe one of my gifts is the ability to relate to people and ability to have a diverse group of people that I talk to. Being someone who's both Black and a person with a disability, I've always uh, I never really felt like an outsider per se, but I always felt like I needed to diversify myself and understand different cultures. And I saw the world differently. I didn't see it from a majority perspective. I saw it from a more forward-thinking perspective. And so I was able to listen to a lot of people throughout my life and hear from a lot of different people. And I just realized that um, we do so much when we're together. We do so much regardless of how we feel about different things and whether we agree with this or disagree with that. I just always realized that we do so much just listening to each other and learning from each other and just not having the whole thing of you're right or you're wrong, but building together and just making a better world for everyone. And so that quote has always been something that I've stressed and something that's always been important to me. And if you think of all the great movements that have happened in the world, they weren't just done by one person. They were done by a group of people that agreed that this had to be done. And they may have had differences in opinion on how it was done or other things, but when they came together, achievements were made and things happened. And so I just always lived by that belief. And that quote, it just signifies that belief in a special way. So I appreciate that. And Helen Keller is somebody I very much admire. So very important to me.
Yeah, no, that's beautifully put. Do you feel, do you feel that people, or like say let's our the state of things in the United States specifically, do you have hope that people can come together? Is that something that you see as a possibility given what's happening right now?
I like to be optimistic, and I believe that, and unfortunately, it's taken many lives lost to do it. But I believe that there is a sense of we need to listen to each other. Now, what that will amount to, I don't know. But I do believe and hope that it amounts to some change and a better future for all of us. And I'm grateful that, especially my generation, is very open minded or tends to be very open minded, and we're really trying to strive for that. And I'm grateful to see that happening. I mean, and not just my generation, but young and old as well seem to be trying to come together. And um, sure, there's exceptions to that, but I do believe, based on what I'm hearing about, I do believe that hopefully there will be some change and some movement. But I'm very optimistic, but you never know what happens. But I do believe that there could be some hope and change. Do I think it would be sudden? Do I think it would happen tomorrow? No, but I think that it will be something that over time happens, and the more people listen to each other. So I'm glad that the people are at least listening to each other. It seems like.
Yeah, no, that's. I think what you're saying, particularly about the younger generation. I mean, certainly seeing, what's happening, particularly with protests around the country. Certainly, those are largely made up of the younger generation, and hopefully that bodes well for things moving in a different and better direction moving forward. What's the climate been like where you're at in North Carolina as of late?
I think specifically Charlotte has been a pretty progressive city. I once heard that people say Charlotte is the New York of North Carolina, and I would disagree with that. I would say that it's gotten pretty diverse. But I mean, in America, you're going to have people that don't want to listen, or just in the world in general, you're going to have people that aren't open minded or feel a certain way, and you're only going to have to struggle with that. I don't think it's a red state or blue state thing. I think it's something that when people have certain views, they don't necessarily listen. But I'm glad to see, as I was saying, I'm glad to see that, especially my generation, and especially here in Charlotte, I think that we're striving to do a better job of trying to listen and trying to bring people together. But I think Charlotte's done a pretty good job, as far as I can tell. But there's always going to be still growth and change to be had, and improvement to be had as well. So
Yeah, no, certainly, certainly, there's growth and improvement to be had. So I want to talk a little bit about your pursuit of the entertainment industry. What is it that is your greatest passion in the entertainment industry?
hmm so we have to go back a little bit. So um, when I was younger, I would say about. I mean, I always kind of loved it, but when I was very young, when I was like 7 or 8, um, I used to go. I was and am still a big sports fan. So I used to ride in the car with my mom home from school, and I would listen to these sports radio channels. And when we would get to my house, she would say, "Oh, okay, I'm going in," and I would say, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm going to listen to this sports station because I'm just really riveted by it. I love the interaction with the callers and the people, and it seemed like one of the places where there was some camaraderie and people coming together. Since we're talking a lot about people coming together, and that's important. I think entertainment really did that, especially when I was listening to the radio and I heard people calling in and they were all bonding over sports. It was different people, different backgrounds, and they were just all coming together and bonding over sports. Now, um, people always said that I had a radio voice, and I kind of hopped around a lot of careers growing up. I wasn't quite sure, but one day people said I had a radio voice, and I really loved radio, and I really loved TV. But it didn't really dawn on me until I was about 13, 14 years old, and I started struggling with anxiety, and it got to the point where I became an extreme introvert. I didn't want to go out and socialize with people. I didn't really want to go to school. And one of the things I did was I really got into watching shows like TMZ and things like that. And they really helped my anxiety. They really helped me have an escape from things that I was dealing with internally and externally as well. And it just really helped me overcome a lot of that. And so as I got older, I also got very much into music. I've been into music since I was little. My parents were very big into music. My dad collected vinyl, but I especially got into it during those times because I was dealing with a lot and I didn't really go out and socialize with people. And so I really bonded over uh, things like music and radio and TV. And to me, I guess that was my connection to the world. And then as I got older, I just realized that people weren't necessarily uh, different in that. I wasn't alone in that. A lot of people were using entertainment and TV as a way to escape what they were feeling. And it really made me want to use my platform because not only was I passionate about sports and music and TV, but I wanted to use my platform to both have fun and enjoy talking about those things, but also spread a positive message and help people that have their own mental health struggles or physical health or anxiety or whatever the case may be. And so that's why I really chose, one of the many reasons I really chose entertainment was to help people overcome that and do that as it did for me.
Well, that's certainly a great reason to get into entertainment. So what since you since that inspiration to start that journey, what has your experience been?
Say it again.
Since you were initially inspired to get into entertainment, what have you been able to do thus far?
So yeah, I believe in timing, and I believe that our purpose is shown to us a lot. And uh, one of the things that really helped me was a couple last year. I did an internship at the Children's Hospital downtown here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's actually part of guess what, the Ryan Seacrest Foundation. Um, and I found out about it through the Student Advisory Board for Disability Services at the college that I went to. I had a friend who just so happened to know the program coordinator there, and she was like, "You'd really enjoy it," and so she got us in touch, and the program coordinator really liked my vision, really liked what I wanted to do there, and I came in there, and I just realized as I came in there that I just felt this was truly my purpose, and the reason being is because I felt like I was doing the same thing that I had really felt I wanted to do. And um, with the children's hospital, you have a lot of children that are sick and they're hurt and they're going through a lot. And our part of the internship was to do radio shows, and through our radio shows, help them overcome those obstacles that they might be dealing with, and just help them escape that in a way. And my show was about positivity, and it was all about uplifting people. So it's all about overcoming obstacles, anxiety, depression, just things that they were dealing with. And I really got a positive response to it. I mean, I can't say who I impacted or what exactly they felt, but what I can say is that I felt like I left there changing it better than it was when I came in, and that was what was important to me, was just um, being of good help and being of service to those children and helping them, even just a little bit through those hard times. And so that was one way I really started doing that, and it was important to me. And I also got a chance to go to Helen Keller Center in New York. So I went there twice, and the first time was in a program where I got a chance to experience the campus and what the campus was like. The second time I went for a 7-week program where I got to learn independent living skills and socializing with others. But one of the greatest moments and experiences I had up there was being able to job shadow. And I went around to different radio stations, a few different radio stations in the area. We got to talk to the program directors and the people there about their experiences, and they gave me advice. And I thought that was really great. And um, one thing I learned, just they didn't have to tell me this, but just through the things they would tell me, is that we are here for the people. And I think especially now, during these times, during the state of the world, it's important as an entertainer to be there for the people. And I don't think of myself as someone who's trying to make $1 million or have a big house. I want to be sure. I mean, sure, I think like any human, I would want that. But also, I think that I want to be a servant for the people, and to use my platform and my passion and my gift to help others and influence others, and hopefully make a big impact on the world as a whole.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a very noble pursuit. So just kind of, I want to walk back a little bit to, you talked about, dealing with anxiety at certain points and certain ways in which actually like your pursuit of the entertainment industry is helped channel that and deal with that. But Can you talk to me about, maybe some things that come up when you think about growing up, or particular challenges that you faced that might have, participated in that anxiety before you were able to, find your way and channeling it through your passion?
I feel like one of the biggest challenges was advocating for myself, and that was something I had to do a lot growing up, because a lot of people, especially in school and teachers, they don't necessarily, they're not, they have good intentions, but they don't necessarily know how to teach a deaf blind person. And so growing up, I had to advocate for myself a lot. And when I was younger, I used to put a lot of that into the hands of my caregivers or my mom or whoever was around because it seemed convenient. It's not that I didn't have a voice or make my own decisions. It was just that I preferred to just let them do that and just go about my day. And um, I wasn't really able to attend my IEP meetings until I was 14. So I was like, well, they're doing all this. They can take care of that. And so I think that early on, I became very shy about advocating for myself because I didn't know how to. And it wasn't until about sixth grade, and I had some teachers. Well, I specifically had a teacher that was a math teacher, and I hated math and still don't like it. But no, not to anyone who does like it.
Now, you and
But
me both. I'm on the same page as you.
yeah, but in sixth grade, I had a teacher, and it was a struggle with communication between my math teacher and my other teachers and my parents and family. There's a lot of voices in the mix, and I no one ever really asked me, "What do you think would work best for you?" Because a lot of people thought that they knew what would work best for me, and so it really caused a lot of anxiety because there's just so many voices in the mix, and I was struggling in the school, and my mom was ready to put me in the school for the blind, but I wanted to be around my friends and be in a regular school. So I really fought to stay there. And so my math teacher, he said that just give me 30 days with him, just let me work with him, and I will make sure that he understands the math. And he did that. I made a, I had a failing grade, and I turned it into a passing grade. But the one thing I learned from that is the importance of using my voice and speaking for myself about what I'm dealing with or what works best for me. And so I started writing a letter to my teachers. And in the letter, I would just tell them all my accommodations, everything I needed. But most importantly, in the letter, I would say, if you have a question about me, talk to me. And it was important because I think that it created a big lane for me to really communicate specifically with my teachers, and not for them to go through everyone else communicating with me. And it really changed a lot. Teachers really went out of their way to communicate with me, and they realized, oh, he has a voice, he can do this. But the one thing is I had to constantly do that.
You mentioned being a student at HKNC. You were talking about that a little bit, but can you tell me, just paint the picture for me as far as like coming into that situation, and then like kind of what you learned or gained from being there?
Um, Definitely. Well, I have nothing but good things to say about HKNC. I love the center. I love the people. Um, and I would say that coming the first time I went, it was a really good experience, but I knew that it was just a trial run basically. So I was just going there to see what it was like, see what the program what was like, and get a feel for the campus. And so I didn't think of it as an intense program or anything like that. Um, the second time going into it, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know if people were going to be strict or they were going to yell, or I didn't know what to expect. Um, so coming into it, uh, I was just kind of a little anxious about it. I wasn't sure. I was definitely excited to go, and I was excited to maybe learn something, but I wasn't sure if it would be the greatest experience. But from the time I was there, from the first day, people really welcomed me in. It felt like I was one of their own, and that's the thing. They treat each other like a family. I know I always come back to this whole being together part. I know it sounds cliche, but it really was what HKNC embodied and is what HKNC embodies. So when I was up there, we were all kind of achieving the same goal. Everyone there, whether you were totally deaf, whether you were hard of hearing, deafblind, whatever the case, we were all up there just trying to achieve the same goal and gain our independent living skills, gain our job skills, better ourselves. And I feel like we all bonded over that. And so it really turned out to be a great experience for me. The teachers were amazing. They were hands-on with their approach. They had the technology, all the resources. They knew how to approach my needs and make sure that I got what I needed and learned what I could while I was up there. I took cooking classes, and I learned how to organize my clothes and color them. And also my favorite, the job experience. I got to go different work sites and learn about job skills and different things I would need to achieve and have success. And it was a great experience. And one thing they recommended I did, which I did, was write in their newsletter, since I love to write as well, in addition to speaking. And so I wrote their newsletter and got a great reception for it. They loved what I wrote, and I wrote 2 pieces, and it was just a great experience. And so I will always have a great amount of support and appreciation for the Helen Keller Center, for what they've done and what they continue to do in my life, what they continue to mean to me as an individual, a deafblind individual, and as an individual in general. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Prior to being a student there, had you been a student in other situations where you felt like you were in the same boat as your peers? Is that something you had experienced before being at HKNC? As far as like, had you been around a lot of other students who were deafblind prior to being at HKNC?
Not exactly at that degree. The past few years, because my mom was on the DeafBlind project, she's the co-director. So I've had a chance to be around a lot of deafblind people in North Carolina. But it wasn't exactly the same because you're not around them regularly. Mm-hmm. I think that may have been the difference, was that at HKNC, I was around those people regularly. We shared meals together. We hung out together, spent time together. And we were there for each other. And so I have deafblind friends here, but it was just, I think the camaraderie and the ability for us to all be in one place at a given time and an extended time was, I think, what really separated HKNC in terms of how I approached and learned from other deafblind people. So yeah, I think that's a fair point to say, but I also think that it was also more just me being around them so consistently and on a regular basis.
You know, I was recalling we chatted once before. You'd mentioned something that you'd like to do as a segment on your show would be, I think you referred to it as "Tell Me Something I Don't Know," a segment called that. Mm-hmm. Was that it? Well, maybe yeah. I'd like to throw that to you as a segment and ask you to tell me something that I don't know.
Oh, that's a good question. Tell you something you don't know.
Just spoiler alert, I don't know a lot of things. So if you say something, okay, I probably won't know it.
Let's see. Did you, well, I'll just tell you something by myself that I don't think I told you, but did you know that I've been to all 50 states?
Oh, wow. All 50 states. How long did that take?
Took 4 summers. And it actually started because when I was younger, I was back to a math thing again. I was doing a math project with my dad, and my dad had traveled a lot with his mom because my grandmother loves to travel. That's one thing she loved doing. She's been to a lot of places around the world. And so he was telling about his experience, and I really wanted to experience that. And I kept asking him, what's it like out there? What's it like out there? And he would give me descriptions of it. He would tell me what things were like, but I'm more of a hands-on person. Like, I like to experience things and physically be there. And I think he saw that. And so he said, let's go on a trip out west to Mexico. And it's crazy how this started. So we started driving, and we said, we're just going to go to New Mexico and come back. We get to Tennessee. We said, let's go to the Grand Canyon because this might be the last time we do this. So went to the Grand Canyon. We said, we love this so much. Let's go to LA. I didn't see Doug there, but and we said we should go
next time.
Yeah, we said we should go to LA. And then after that, we liked it so much. We went down south to New Orleans. And we just said that we just loved doing this so much that we just started traveling all over the country. And I'll tell you another interesting story of what happened. We didn't travel with a lot of money necessarily. It was very unplanned. We said we just wanted to do this. And it was really, really cool. But we were at a restaurant in Alabama once. And my dad was telling me about all the places he was going to take me next year to the Montana, North Dakota, Yellowstone, Wyoming. And all of a sudden, there's this guy that comes up and drops $200 on the table and says, take your son out west. And my dad's like, what? Like, we didn't really know this guy. It's just a random guy that came up and did that. And we just talked to him and got to know him. And he said, I've been to all these places, and I just saw that your son wanted to be there. So I wanted to help you out, pitch in. And so we thanked him, and we went out west, and then we wrote him a thank you letter. Not really expecting anything back, so wrote him a thank you letter. And we kind of told him in the letter that we were going to go to Alaska, which was the second to last state because my mom took me to Hawaii. My dad said it was too much of a laid back environment. He liked camping, and my mom liked the beach. So she took me there. But we told this guy we're going to Alaska, and we sent him a letter, and he sends $1,000, says, take your son to Alaska. So what I learned by that is you never know who you might meet out there on the road and who might really be of help to you. And that's not just physically going on the road. I thought that's symbolic in life. There's nothing wrong with making connections and reaching out to people because you just never know who might be out there to really help you and really give you something, help you with something great in life. And so I learned that through those trips, in addition to just learning about this country. And so that was a very big experience in my life.
Wow. That's I don't think a lot of people can share that particular travel story, but it sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What is there anything else you learned about? I mean, I imagine in traveling the country, really just in 4 summers, which is pretty short, seeing such diversity of places and people. How else did that inform you as far as like your understanding of your own country and moving forward and what you're doing?
Well, first and foremost, I realized we had a very beautiful country, and a lot of people say, and I am guilty of it too. A lot of people say, let's go to the Eiffel Tower and let's go to all these expensive places. And there's so many different places. Just you're looking for a place in the middle of nowhere. You can go to Montana, Wyoming, Alaska. Just very quiet. You're looking for something with sunshine and beaches. Hawaii and Florida, great places as well. There's just so many great places throughout the country, and it was just a beautiful experience. Just experience that and know that, and just as you mentioned, so much diversity in the places and the people. We met people that were from different areas, weren't from different areas. We interacted with a lot of different people with different backgrounds. And I think that it just taught me so much about the beauty of this country, but also the beauty of certain people. And, as much hardship as there's going on in the world, I think there are a lot of great people out there. A lot of people who are just going through different things. And it's important to really diversify ourselves and understand different cultures and different backgrounds. And it's helped me just build myself and make myself the best person that I can be and the most caring and understanding person that I can be. So it was both experience and that it was beautiful in the country and also just diversifying my understanding of people and just the places that I went to.
So, I want to touch on, well, we still have about 17 minutes left here. I want to talk about, you just graduated in December, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as a recent college grad, and one who's I think very fortunate to know exactly what he wants to do, how do you feel entering the world and the workforce at a time that really is one of the most like uncertain times we've ever seen. How do you negotiate that with being someone who's like just stepping out into that space for the first time?
Well, there to me, there's a pro and a con. So, um, the pro was that I really was. I kind of made the decision that I didn't want to work. I mean, I wouldn't be against it if I had to. I didn't want to work a regular 9 to 5 job. I wanted to do something that was different and off schedule and just do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and also have more flexibility in my life as well. Um, and so I think that was something that I had to really think about. And um, yes, the struggle with that is that, especially during this time, it's definitely harder finding work. It's definitely harder finding employers that are hiring. So many people have lost jobs during this time, and so it's definitely a lot more difficult, and it's been a struggle. But one thing I will say is that I have had the mindset of being able to adjust. And I mean, I've overcome so many obstacles. And I think that what one piece of advice would be to everyone out there is have a mindset of adjustment as hard as it is. And I know for me, I can be a big planner sometimes too. I can be someone who doesn't like being spontaneous. But I go back to my travels around the country. That's another thing I learned is that it's okay to be spontaneous because we had no idea when we got on the road that we got to the Grand Canyon or California. It was just something we did, and we had to take that chance and do it. So sometimes you have to take the chances necessary to get through your experiences in life. And so it's okay to have some down moments or some moments of doubt. I think we all do, but it's also important to be willing to adjust to different environments and be willing to make the best out of every situation. I think that's what I've been trying to do. And thankfully, because I had the mindset of someone who didn't really want to just settle for one thing, I really have different avenues that I can really think about and push myself towards. Like, not only do I want to be in radio and TV, but I also want to write books and be in the music industry and do a lot of different things. And so I think it's important to have that mindset and be willing to adjust and not so much backup plans, but also to be willing to adjust to the plan you may already have. And maybe some things have to be bent and changed, but that's okay because in the day, you're going to be successful and you're going to reach the goals you want to achieve. So don't let this moment or let this struggle uh, put you down or put you in a place not really feeling like you can get where you want to go. Because there's going to always be a way, even if it's not the way you expected. There's always a way to get somewhere. And so I think that with that mindset, that's kind of how I've adjusted to finding work in this pandemic.
Well, on that note, and I think that's an amazing mindset to have. But how do you relating that mindset to what's happening right now, as far as with the really the protests sweeping around the country as a response to the killing of George Floyd and everything that's come in the wake of that? Being a black man who's also a black man with a disability, I'm wondering how you feel in the context of how you're perceived by other people and how you deal with that.
It's definitely a bittersweet feeling. And I think that sometimes people, there's just such thing as microaggressions. And I mean, sure, you have people that aren't open-minded and just uh, don't want to attempt to think about others and think about what others might be going through. But I think in my experience, especially as a black person with disability, it's been a lot of them not wanting to ask me questions because they feel they might be offensive or they feel they might make me uncomfortable. And I've always had to make clear to people one of the things that I do when I was on the student advisory board, and even now when I'm giving speeches and doing things like this, is reminding them that I want people to know who I am. And um, if and one thing I've learned, because I was in a student advisory board, I was in a club meeting for one of our clubs on campus for people with disabilities, and someone asked me, they said, do you ever get tired of, as a black person, do you ever get tired of educating people? Because I was talking about the importance of educating people and teaching people. And I said no. And the reason I said no is because, yes, there may be some people that refuse to be educated, but at least in a room of 10 people, if I can educate one person, that's one less person who will not be educated and walk around with ideas that don't align with good things, or don't align with equality, or don't align with any. So, and that's also one person who could therefore go educate someone else that they know. And that's what I tell all my friends, especially my white friends, is that it's important because you can reach them in ways that maybe I can't. So talk to your family, talk to your friends about privilege. Use your privilege to educate others as I am. And if I can just educate one person, even if I can't educate all 10 people in that room, that's one person that can go educate another. And so I really love to use my voice and to educate people about who I am and remind people it's okay to listen. It's okay to ask questions. And I'd rather you ask me. I'm more offended if you don't ask than if you do ask something that might be uncomfortable, because I'd rather you learn and I'd rather you understand where I'm coming from and listen. So, and I'm glad to see that. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but I'm glad to see that that's happening more now. I'm glad to see that it seems like people want to listen to each other more. And I hope that just doesn't happen in the Black community, but that also happens in the disability community as well. That we can listen to one another, and that people that may not be able to relate necessarily can listen to us as well and understand our needs as people. So um, I think the factor of listening is important, and you just never know what you might learn from somebody. It's easy to just judge and say, "Oh, I know what I know, and I'm good with that." But just try. Even if you don't agree with everything they stand for, just try to listen to them, and you never know what you might learn from that person. And so I think that that's what's been important to me. Like that's why it's been so important to use my voice, especially with entertainment, is to bring people together, because people bond over sports, people bond over movies and TV and music. But it's important to maybe use those trivial things that people do in their spare time to uh, bring up different issues and raise other issues, and bring people together in that way as well. Like we can start here and we can build from there and become better people, and better people to each other because of it.
Do you feel like you've been able to have more conversations recently with your peers, with people in your life, then has what's happened lately sparked more conversations?
Yeah, I think that I've been guided to do that. And I think I mentioned this earlier. I was never trying to be someone who did speeches, or someone. I mean, when I was early in college, all I cared about was making friends and getting Domino's pizza late at 12 o'clock at night. I wasn't thinking that I would one day even be here with you. Obviously, I enjoy it and I love it, but at 18, 17, you're not really thinking about those things. Um, I recall going to DeafBlind conferences and not really wanting to be there, rather being with my friends and things like that. But I realized that the situations I was going through were relatable and people were going through them as well. And I think the biggest motivation for me is I didn't want people to go through what I went through, or what other people may have gone through. And so I wanted to use my platform to help other people. And I think that that's put me in a position where I can have those conversations, like I did in college in the student advisory board, or like I do with my speeches. And because I have the opportunity to speak to so many diverse people, I believe it is my purpose, and it's important for me to speak up and have a voice, and provide a voice for those who may not have a voice or may not feel like they have a voice. And so I think that that's what's been important to me. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity and the platform to do that. And I think that that's what that's given me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. ECAC as well, where my mom works, Exceptional Children's Assistance Center, where they have parent educators and they talk to parents. And my mom talks to a lot of different parents from different backgrounds and who are going through different things. And she advocates for them as well, because there might be some people that are struggling, whether it's racial issues, whether it's issues with the school, disability issues. And she works to advocate for them as well. And so I go out. I'm part of the youth leadership team there, so we do meetings together and we meet up and it's also a very diverse group of people with many different disabilities. And we go out and do panel discussions as well with different parents and teachers about our experiences. And the one thing that I always say is that I'm grateful to have a voice. I want to continue to have a voice. But I think my main goal is not just for me to have a voice, but for me to provide a voice for others, and for me to provide a platform for others as well. So um, I always, when I do my speeches or when I do my presentations, I always say, I hope that, yes, maybe I inspired you or I impacted you in a great way, but I also hope that in addition to me impacting you, I impacted you to go out and use your voice as well for good and help others. And so, and if I did that, I feel like I've achieved my goal and I've had success in that.
I love that. I love that. That's so beautifully put. What kind of for the speaking engagements you've had? Can you tell us about some of those specifically? What kind of speaking engagements have you participated in thus far?
So specifically, I speak to the deaf-blind community or just disability community in general. Um, the last couple of speeches that I did were mainly about self-advocacy, self-determination, and I speak to a very diverse group. I speak to teachers, students. I spoke at the Southeastern Institute for deaf-blind youth. I was also a mentor there, and I really try to use my voice to uh, both explain my journey and what I've been through, and also educate others on maybe obstacles they're having in their journey. And so those are mainly the speeches that I've been doing lately. But I'm really excited because I just received an offer to speak for Microsoft, from one of the Microsoft directors in the Plains State. So in August, I'm probably going to go out to South Dakota um, and speak to them. And that's a whole another diverse group of people. It's going to be government officials, corrections officials, and just a lot of different people. And I think the reason I'm excited about that is because that's so many people with power and with influence. And if I can use my voice to talk to the people in high places with power and influence, I can hopefully uh, use my influence to influence them in a positive way. And so I'm really excited about that. So the messaging won't necessarily change, but I'm glad that the diversity of people and the type of people I'm speaking to will change over time. And so those are mainly my demographics and also what I speak on.
That's amazing. So with the last few minutes, because you were starting to talk about the future, in that future in speaking engagement, but what else does the future hold for you? Both in what you already know is coming up, and also what you hope to be able to do in the near future.
Well, I'm very optimistic, and I'm also very open to what the future holds. Yeah, I really hope soon to get into the entertainment industry and really do radio and TV fully and work for different places around the country. Where that is and what that entails, I'm not quite sure yet. Still working on that, but I do believe the future holds something good. And I definitely, my future now is less about where I am and more about what I can do and the impact that I have on people. So whether that's here in Charlotte or whether that's in New York or LA or somewhere overseas, I think my goal is to go out into the world and have a positive impact on people. And so that to me, that's what's the most important part about the future and what it holds. So it's not so much where I want to be, where I can be to have the most impact and the best uh, positive influence on as many people as possible around the world.
What I'm wondering when you're coming out to LA so that we can reunite there. When's that gonna happen?
When all this is over, I'm definitely going to make a trip out there. Um, I don't know exactly when, but I definitely would. I definitely love to come out to LA and definitely meet out.
Can you actually can you describe how we met each other in the first place?
So it was a pretty interesting thing. So Doug has a feeling through experience, and my mom was telling me there's a premiere of a movie called Feeling Through here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And I was like, wow, that'd be pretty interesting. I'm a big movie fan, so this should be good. And so I went, and I was also asked to speak on the panel um, after the Feeling Through movie with other deafblind people about my experience. A lot of the same way I'm doing now. And that was how I met Doug. And also, I really enjoyed the movie. It's a great movie, and I had a great experience there, and it meant a lot to me. So that was how we met, and we've been tight ever since. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it was that was actually the very first screening, the premiere of the Feeling Through experience that you were not just attended but were a part of. And it's really cool to be able to circle back almost exactly a year later, a little bit more than a year, but almost exactly a year later to sit here and speak with you today. So I think that's such a great full circle, like 365 moment. And it's really just I know at the time you were a college senior, speculating about what you'd be doing after, and it's so great to hear the amazing speaking engagements you've already done, and what I'm sure is going to be a very, very bright future for you. And I just hope when you are not just the next, when not it's not the next Ryan Seacrest, when you are the Billy Pickens, that you'd come back and still talk with us here at Feeling Through Live again.
Definitely, definitely. I will. You'll be first on the list too. If there's any way I can help, with the movie or whatever, I'm more than willing to help. So um, that's definitely gonna be a promise.
Awesome. Well, we got that on tape, so I'll be able to play that back for you. You can't go back on that.
Yeah, play it and then give me something in writing to sign.
All right, perfect. Well, on that note, Billy, thank you so much for joining us today. We definitely gonna have to come back, and thank you for those who are
Thank
watching.
you for having me. It was an honor and a pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. I know we had some technical difficulties, but I will be able to upload a really clean version of the conversation today without some of the glitchiness and pause that we had in the middle. But thank you for those who continued to watch afterward. And again, a reminder, please check out feelingthrough.com to register for your free e-ticket for the Feeling Through Experience live stream that's going to happen on June 25th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be in celebration of DeafBlind Awareness Week, and we want as many of you there as possible to join in. Now is really the time to facilitate connection, and the Feeling Through experience has always been about the power of human connection and people coming together despite whatever differences they may have. And I think that's definitely something that is needed at this time. So the more people that we have that are a part of that, the better. So again, it's just go to feelingthrough.com to register for your free e-ticket, and you'll get more information about that soon. And thank you for everyone who tuned in. We look forward to seeing you again next week, same time, same place. Bye.